Namaste yogis, welcome to your practice. This is Steven from YogaWorks, and today we're not getting up. This is the title of this class, and I made this class because you know when you start a yoga class on your back, or often there's a nice little sequence at the end of the class after you've worked hard, you've done standing poses, inversions, backbends, and I would feel so amazing to just lie on your back. And I've always dreamt of having a whole class like this, where you're just not getting up, you're just lying down. And this even is the only time we'll be sitting in the class, just now for the intro. The whole rest of the class, we are not getting up, we'll just be lying on our belly, on our sides, on our back. That doesn't mean we're not active. We can do a little bit of active things or some nice stretches, but we'll keep it nice, low, and grounded. So this makes it a really good practice if you're feeling a little bit low on energy, you don't want something too intense, or standing poses or strength work, or maybe to prepare for bed or a calmer practice in the morning might be great. If you have a belt or some kind of a strap, even a longer towel nearby, then that's going to be handy very soon in the beginning. And guess what? Lie down on your back. Why wait any longer? So lie down on your back, place the soles of your feet together and let the knees open to the side. This is called Supta Baddha Konasana, the supine cobbler's pose. And what I like to do is just rest the hands on the inner thighs, just to bring a little bit of awareness and sensitivity to this area that we can gently allow to lengthen and to open. And then just arrive here for a moment. What an amazing start to our practice. Just lie on your back. Feel the back of your head, the whole back body, your spine, the shoulders, the pelvis, the feet rest on the floor. And can you surrender your whole weight onto the surface underneath you? Just a couple more breaths to arrive, to feel welcomed by our mat. And it's a misconception that every time we do yoga we have to do a full class with all the standing poses and the back bends and the forward bends and the twists. No, you need to do what you need at that moment to sustain you in your day or in the phase of your life that you are in. And then just straighten the left leg, bend the right knee into your chest, and you can hook the hands over the shin somewhere and just gently pull that leg in. And you'll feel a bit of compression at the front of the hip, maybe a bit of stretch at the back of the hip. Just see where you get to. And then keep the other leg slightly active, almost like you're standing on it. Another moment here. And then swap the legs, right leg straight. Left knee bended in, pull it in, but not too much. Just go until you feel a bit of a stretch, a bit of sensation, but nothing too intense. Other leg slightly active. You can push that right heel away from you as you draw the left heel in, the left knee in. And then release. Now we'll need our strap, unless if you're really flexible, you have no problem holding your foot with your hand, then that's also fine. And then just loop the strap around the ball of the right foot, straighten the left leg out on the mat, and hang your foot and your leg in the strap. And this might look like this for you, so you might need to reduce that angle just to keep that leg kind of straight-ish and the foot relaxed. Or if you have a little bit more space in the back of the right leg, it's mainly going to be hamstrings, then you can lift the leg a little bit higher. I like to have the hands on either side of the strap, and I like to adjust the hands so that the backs of the shoulders can relax down on the mat. Try to connect as much of your back body on the mat as possible. And again, don't forget about your left leg, even though most of the sensation is in your right leg, of course. Can you split your attention equally between the left and the right sides of the body, even though they're doing something completely different. Another deeper breath in. Exhale, relax. Good. Swap legs. Left leg goes up in the strap or in your towel or in your hand, whatever is the case. Right leg, stretch it out on the mat. Choose the angle. Don't feel like this has to look a particular way. You just have to feel a mild hamstring stretch. And for the rest, try to be quite comfortable in the rest of the body. So grounded through the back, through the spine. Slightly active through the right leg. Shoulders relaxing down, the arms just hanging from the strap. Couple of breaths here. And as always, don't feel like you have to go until the stretch becomes really intense. You can stop a little bit before that point, depending on how you feel. One more deeper breath here. Exhale, relax. And then release the strap. We're not going to need it anymore, so just place it off to the side and come to lie on your side body. We're turning onto the right side first. And then just rest your head in your right arm or hand somewhere. And then have the knees at a 90-degree angle, the shins as well, 90 degrees to your torso. And then all we're going to do with the left arm, stretch over the head. This is our starting position. On the exhale, we're going to reach the left arm over the hip and lift the left lower leg. Keep the knees together. Inhale to start. Exhale to you're crunching the side body and you're reaching straight over the hip with the arm. Inhale. Exhale. Do this a couple of times. Inhale to stretch overhead. Exhale to the side bend. You should feel some good engagement in your waist. Those are the oblique muscles that help to bend us sideways. A couple more. I thought of what could be the most enjoyable but also efficient core work that we could do while we're lying down. So this is one of them. Release that. Let's come to the second side. You can just turn to the other side, but I'll face the camera, which means I have to get up. So that's quite tough. Feel lucky that you can just turn around. Okay, knees, hips, 90-degree angles. You rest your head in your left arm or hand to start. Right arm overhead, that's the inhale. Exhale, lift the right lower leg and reach your right hand over the right hip. Inhale. Exhale. Couple more. Inhale. Exhale, feel the crunch in your side body. Two more. Just follow your breath and the simple movements. And then release. Let's roll onto our backs. And then just to get into the abdominals a little bit, nothing too intense, but just to wake up our core slightly. We're going to be doing crow pose on our back. So pull the knees up towards your shoulders, then release the hands and stretch them up. Push your palms up towards the ceiling. I like the inner heels of feet to touch actually. And then I'm lifting up the hips and the shoulders, and I'm pushing the hands up. I'm trying to lift everything away from the mat here. Hips, shoulders, and squeeze your knees onto your upper arms. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and release. Take a breath. It's not because we're lying down that we have to be completely inactive, so it might be nice to warm up the core a little bit in this way. And now next time, when we're keeping the knees together, move the knees a little bit left, and then do side crow. You're pushing your hands over to the right, connect that left arm to your right knee, and reach up, 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 up. Can you lift the right shoulder blade off the mat? 3, 2, 1. Swap to the second side, knees to the right, arms to the left. It's easy to lift the right shoulder, but can you lift the left shoulder blade off the mat? So I'm curling up, core is engaged. 3, 2, 1, release. Ah, nice. And turn over onto your belly. So if we do a bit of core work, we're going to do the front, the sides, and also the back. So now we're strengthening the lower back again with a simple locust pose. So lift your chest a bit, lift the arms, lift the legs. No need to lift very high, but we just want to activate these muscles in the lower back, and also the glutes, the hamstrings will be switched on. 3, 2, 1, and release. Nice, turn back onto your back. And then place your right ankle on the left knee. Thread your right arm through. Hold the left shin somewhere, or the left thigh, and then lie back for supine pigeon pose, or the figure of 4. Again, reconnect with that amazing feeling of just lying your back, even if the stretch here is a little bit intense. If you want to make the stretch more intense, and pull the left knee towards you while you press the right knee away. But that might not be necessary, so just check what you need at the moment. Use the breath to circulate, to soothe the body. And then release and swap sides. Right foot down, left ankle on the right knee. Thread the left hand through, hold your right leg where you like, and then lie back. Let the head rest, soften the shoulders. If you want, you can gently pull the right knee in and press the left knee away. But just in lying this position for a couple of breaths might be sufficient for you at the moment. And then slowly release. Now we'll come to lie on our left side, like this. And then move your hands behind you and see if you can come into bow pose, lying your back to grab the bottom foot. It's going to be a little bit harder. The top foot is usually a little bit easier. But just check out how amazing this feels. Bow pose without all the drama, isn't it? So you're lying on your side. If you can't quite hold the feet, then just, you can do the same with straight arms and legs. Instead, more like locust on your side. And then just expand the chest and the belly and the front of the thighs a little bit forward as you kick your feet into the hands. You can rest your head down on the mat, there's no problem. Also notice how easy it is to breathe in this version of bow pose, which is not always the case. You know this from experience. And then release that. Let's do the second side. I'll turn to the other side so you can see better, but you can stay where you are. So we're lying down. We're reaching for the bottom foot first and then the top foot. I find that works the best to get into this. And then move your legs behind you and open the chest, open the belly, open the front of the hips. And now it's quite an intense back bend, but can you relax, being fully supported on your side. Couple more breaths here. With every exhale, relax more into it. And then slowly release. Lie on your belly. And then bring the hands into cactus arms with your elbows shoulder height. Try to get a 90-degree angle in your elbows here. And then we'll do the left side first. Look towards your left elbow. It's shoulder height. Lift it a little bit higher than your shoulder. Push that hand down. All we're going to do is crush the microphone. No. To roll onto our left side. I like to split the legs apart. And then with the right hand, I'm pressing under that shoulder just to increase that stretch a little bit. Amazing to get into the front of the left shoulder, the chest, and at the same time you can relax the head, relax everything that touches the mat. And if you like to add a little bit more intensity to the stretch, you can press the left hand down onto the floor. This will activate the muscle that we are lengthening, mostly the pecs and the anterior deltoids. And it's a good way to stretch. Slowly release, come back onto your belly. Normal cactus arms, 90 degrees both sides. Look to the right, lift your right elbow a little bit higher. Press the right hand down. I'm using the left hand to roll onto the right hip. You can do with your legs whatever you want, but I find to split them apart a bit is the most comfortable for me. And then with the left hand, just push lightly onto the mat to lift that left shoulder a bit. The right shoulder, you don't have to press it down onto the mat, but just try to relax it as much as you can. Especially in the front of that right shoulder and into the chest. More intensity, press your right hand into the mat. Or if it's enough just as you are, then it's enough, then you have arrived. Slowly release and then roll onto your back from here. Just enjoy that knowledge. We're not getting up. We're just staying here. You might go straight to bed after this, or it might be a nice chilled start to your day. So straighten out the legs and the arms here. Now move your legs towards the right corner of your mat and cross your left leg over the right. So the left ankle is on top of the right ankle. Then lift your arms overhead. Also move your shoulders and your arms a little bit over to the right. And then what I like to do here is with the right hand, I like to hold the left wrist. So I'm lengthening that whole side body over to the right. And then feel that you can still relax most of your back body on the mat. Don't let the left shoulder lift. Keep it relaxed and down, even though there's a good stretch on the whole side body. Again, as always, use the breath to down regulate, to surrender into this pose. Almost like the breath is doing most of the work on the inside. Your body is just receiving this input. Really nice, relaxing side bend. One of my favorite poses to do on my back. And then release the arm and cross the legs. So we're coming back to center, and then the feet, walk them over to the left corner, cross the right ankle over the left. And then the same for the upper body. I'm just shifting the shoulders a little bit left, reaching arms overhead into the left. and my left arm or left hand is holding the right wrist. Relax the shoulders, the arms, the legs, the spine. And sometimes when we get into a new pose, there's the initial stretch that hits you a bit. It's sometimes a bit uncomfortable. Let's see if you can use your breath to direct a bit of space into these areas. And before you know it, you could almost fall asleep in these poses that were first quite challenging. Notice that change over time. And then gently release. Our next pose is plow pose. Make sure you have a little bit of space over the head. You might need to shift a little bit towards the top of your mat. And then using your hands to press down, swing your legs over the head. And then don't go too far too quickly. If you're here, that's fine. Try not to look to the side. If you need to pause the video or first watch and then rewind and then follow along, then that's fine. And if you have a little bit less space, then just feel free to bend your knees, rest your knees somewhere on the forehead or in that direction. And just stay here. You can even support your back if it feels more stable and safe. Then for some of you, if you have a little bit more space in the back body, you might straighten the legs out into so the toes are touching down and the heels are pressing away from you overhead. If the toes are down, then you can release that back support. You may not need it. And just take a few breaths and feel this rounding of the spine. It's a forward bend, but we're inverted, we're upside down, compared to the seated forward bend, for example. And just feel this gentle stretch in the whole back body. It should be gentle stretch. If it's too much, then rather come out or modify. And then really slowly, when I roll out, you can feel each vertebra starting to touch down and unroll your spine. Do it slowly with control. And then when the sacrum touches down, you can place the legs down as well. Straighten out your legs. And then come up onto your elbows. Come up onto your elbows. Look towards your feet and then just lift the chest as much as you can. Lift, 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 lift. You might just stay here. This is the preparation of our pose. Or start to hang the head back. And if you're still okay here, you can start to shift a little bit more towards the head side and maybe gently touch the crown of the head down on the mat here. This is fish pose Matsyasana. Keep the legs quite relaxed, no need to tense them up. Keep the chest lifted and feel like there's this push of your upper back up to the ceiling. A couple of deeper breaths. Let's take 2 more. Inhale. Exhale, sigh the breath out. 1 more. Inhale. Exhale, sigh. Lift up, look towards your feet. Remove your elbow support and lie down on your back. And we'll end with the top favorite, which is happy baby pose. So bring your knees in, hold the feet, or you can hold your ankles or behind your knees even. If it's hard to reach to the feet, that's fine. And then just spread out your back as much as you can on the mat, even the lower back. If you can press it down, it's going to be a nice length and stretch. This is almost like a squat, but we're lying on our back instead. Same shape. Relax the shoulders down and Just be happy here. Couple of breaths. If you want to move around, you're welcome to do that. Or if you prefer to be still, then be still. It's a nice pose to linger for a little bit longer. And then gently release the feet. Stretch out your arms and legs. And sink into the best pose lying down, which is Shavasana, the ultimate pose to let go, to surrender, to unwind. We've done a short practice on our back, on our sides, on our belly, lying down for the whole duration of the class. But we still hit some nice spots in the shoulders and the hips, did a little bit of core work even. Well done. Notice this feeling that you showed up to your mat even though you might have been tired, a little bit depleted, maybe you didn't even feel like doing yoga, but you saw the title of this class and you hit play, and just see how you feel after coming to your mat. Anyway, feel free to rest here for as long as you like. Or if it's time for you to go, then you can bend your knees, roll over onto your side, and push up into sitting. Bring your hands together in front of the chest. And touch your hands to your forehead, to your heart, and bow to yourself on the mat. Namaste everyone, thank you so much for practicing. I hope you feel amazing after this not getting up class. Repeat this one often just to give yourself a little break. You don't always need to do the most intense yoga practice. Just for you to keep going is more important. I hope to see you here again soon. Stay well.